All right, I'm not going to ask any more questions. Let's do it. Good luck.
My name is Father Gabriel. I am 75 years old. I have been a priest for more than 50 years, and for most of that time, my life was quiet. I served in a small town in Iowa. You know the kind. One main street, one grocery store, one church. I baptized babies, married young couples, prayed over the sick, and buried the dead. Day after day, season after season, year after year. But the truth is, for most of my life, I have carried a silence inside me, a silence I chose, a silence I thought I needed, and that silence was my singing voice. When I was young, I loved to sing. I sang in school plays, I sang in church choirs, I sang in the kitchen while my mother cooked. My sister Anna used to tease me because I would hum in my sleep. She was 4 years younger than me. She had this wild hair that never stayed brushed, and a smile that could convince you to do just about anything. I thought I would always have her. But when I was 23, just 2 years into the priesthood, a drunk driver took her away from me. It was winter. The roads were covered in snow, and she was coming home from visiting a friend. They told me it was instant, but instant doesn't make it hurt less. I remember the day of her funeral. The sky was grey, the air so cold it hurt to breathe. The church was full, every pew taken. I was the one who stood at the front and led the service. I spoke the prayers. I read the scripture, and then it came time for the hymn. It was her favorite. She used to sing it so loud in church. I would nudge her and tell her to let the others have a chance. I opened my mouth to sing, and the first few words came out. But then I saw her face in my mind, that smile of hers, and my voice cracked. I tried again, but nothing came. The organ kept playing. People began singing without me, and I stood there, silent, feeling as though my heart had been torn out of my chest. From that day on, I never sang again. Not at weddings, not at Christmas, not even in the shower. I told myself it was humility, that a priest didn't need to draw attention to himself. But that wasn't the truth. The truth was, I was afraid that if I sang again, I would remember that moment, and the pain would come back just as sharp as the day I lost her. The years kept going. I buried my parents. I saw friends grow old and leave this world. I watched generations of my congregation come and go. The church bells rang for births and for deaths, and I stood in front of my people every Sunday, speaking, praying, but never singing. Inside, I told myself it didn't matter, that God didn't need my voice, only my heart. But deep down, I knew I was hiding. Then, about a year ago, I met Samuel. He was only 8 years old, but he had the kind of eyes that make you feel like you've known him forever. He was in the hospital, very sick. I visited him often, bringing him little books, telling him stories, saying prayers with him. One afternoon, I found him sitting up in bed with his oxygen tube, tapping his fingers on the blanket like he was playing an invisible piano. He looked up at me and said, "Father Gabriel, sing me something." I laughed and told him, "Oh, I don't sing, Samuel." But he frowned like I had just told him I didn't believe in sunshine. He said, "My mom told me God gives everyone a gift, and she says if you don't use it, it's like telling God he made a mistake." I didn't know what to say, so I tried to change the subject, but Samuel wasn't done. He said, if you used to sing, you should sing again, even if it hurts, especially if it hurts. A few weeks later, Samuel passed away, and in the last conversation we had, he made me promise something. He said, "Promise me you'll sing for someone one day when it really matters." I told him I would, but after the funeral, I went back to my old life, back to the silence. And then, a few months ago, I woke up in the middle of the night and thought of him, thought of his little face, that stubborn smile. I thought of my sister, Anna, and her laugh that could drown out the world. And I realized, maybe this is what they've both been waiting for. So tonight, I am here. Not for fame, not for money, not for the stage. I am here because I made a promise to a boy who believed in me, and because somewhere my sister is still waiting for me to finish the song I could not sing for her 52 years ago. And tonight, I will sing. Not perfectly, not like I once could, but with every bit of love I have left. Because when God gives you a gift, you do not bury it.
I have walked through fields of sorrow, where the sun forgot to shine. Felt my fears like fading echoes in the shadows of my mind. But a whisper in the darkness kept calling out my name. Said, "Child, you're still my singer, and I'll make you whole again." So I will sing again, through the tears, through the pain, every note of prayer, every word your name, and I will lift my voice for the lost and for the found, for the love that still remains. Yes, I will sing again. There's a face I see in heaven, and a boy I can't forget. They both believed when I had nothing but a heart full of regret. And if the grave can't steal the promise, and if the dark can't stop the light, then I will break this chain of silence, and I will sing tonight. Yes, I will sing again, through the tears, through the pain, every note of prayer, every word your name, and I will lift my voice for the lost and for the found, for the love that still remains. Yes, I will sing again. And maybe heaven's is listening now. Maybe they can hear this vow. I will not let the gift you gave be buried in the ground. I will sing again, through the storm, through the rain, every note of prayer, free